Everyone, we're here at EA Canada in Burnaby, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I said the entire name that time. We're here for talking about FIFA 09. In just a few minutes, I'm going to go downstairs and actually play 10v10 FIFA 09 for the first time. But before I do that, I've got Aaron McCarty, who's the gameplay producer on the game. Aaron, how are you doing, sir?
Not too bad.
Good. And so he's going to give us some tips on how to make the most of your online game in FIFA 09. Of course, everybody's going to be playing this game online 10v10. So we're talking about a few different positions on the pitch, how to make yourself a better player, so when the game comes out, we'll all be better. Us Americans will be better soccer players. So we're talking about a couple of different positions on the field. Let's start in the back, defensive midfielder. Give us some tips on how we can make, first of all, what are our responsibilities back there, and how can we become better as a defender?
Absolutely. I guess starting from the back going forward, if you look at defenders, of course, by the nature of the name, the first primary responsibility for a defender is to defend. So you want to be, most of the game you're going to be wanting holding your position and your shape between the back line. Now what that means is if you're, say, a left center back, you're going to be wanting to keep the distance between your left full back and your center back that's beside you relatively even, so that you're taking up as much space, holding the shape of the back line and preventing those holes for strikers to come through.
Right.
Now, while doing that, when the team is attacking you, you can do a couple things to make it a little bit easier on yourself. You can use the jockey, a feature that we've had in FIFA 08, and we've improved on it in FIFA 09. What this does is if you hold the left trigger while you're moving around the left stick, what this does is it slows your player down and gives you a little bit more control over where you can move your player on the pitch. If you hold down the jockey button, he'll be able to plant quickly and adjust and keep that finite positioning in the palms of your hands as control.
Is that literally just a side-to-side run?
Absolutely. It's sort of a side step, depending on where the ball is, but you're going to open up your body and make sure you're facing where the ball is. So you're always keeping the ball in the field of vision. You're never turning your back on it. Because that way you can get caught having to make a 180-degree turn to chase down a striker in the other direction. Now, as I said, if you're using the jockey, it's a lot slower than the jog. So sometimes it may just not be enough. So we put in a new feature this year called the running jockey. If you hold the jockey button and the sprint, your player will be moving around the pitch, and you'll have that control where he's not going to make those big planting turns, but he moves a little bit quicker. And it gives you a lot of ability to position your player in a good spot to pick up runners coming through or launch a tackle for a dribbler coming right at you.
Halfway between the jockey and the actual run.
Absolutely, exactly right.
All right, well, let's take it from defense to the mid part of the field. You were showing off the center midfielder. As you pointed out, it's sort of the quarterback or the point guard of the team, right?
Absolutely. Your central midfielder is the most creative engine of your team. He's the guy that's going to be deciding the pace of the game, springing players loose to get in behind for opportunities, and getting a little bit into the attack himself, trying to get some goals, and helping out the defense, of course. So he's the kind of guy that has to be the jack of all trades, do everything on the pitch, but he's going to be your creative engine. Most teams will play through their central midfielder to create their opportunities of goal. So how to make him most effective is try and not get caught too high up the pitch playing alongside your strikers, because then you're not providing the support that you need from your defenders. So when your defenders have the ball, you need to be there to collect it off them and distribute. Likewise, when your strikers have the ball, you don't want to be too far behind the play because you can't catch up when everybody's running forward. So you really want to maintain your position in the middle of the park and float around that area and try and support. So as the ball goes wide, you're trying to find those little holes in between the defense where you can pick up the ball from a teammate and distribute to another teammate in another area of pitch that's maybe more advantageous. Central midfield is the position of the mind. You're going to be wanting to position, collect balls off your teammates and find the space. So you're going to be wanting to use things like the through ball and the lofted through ball to spring your strikers and your wide midfielders forward, going forward, so they can get into attacking positions to either swing in a cross or get a chance at goal. To hit the through ball, you press the Y button, and if the player you're using is skillful enough, we actually have a new feature this year, which is swerve through passes. So higher skilled players, which you'll usually find in the center of the park, are able to actually bend the ball around a defender and get a little bit more angle and are a little bit more effective at playing a through ball.
And who do you want right up front scoring goals? You want the guys with the fastest thumbs, right?
You want your finishers up front.
Yeah.
Just like in the real world, the guy up front has really, when it comes down to it, one job, and that's to stick the ball in the back of the net. So you want your guy that's going to maybe get 1 or 2 chances a game and bury both of them. That's the guy who you want playing up front.
Right.
Now, having said that, there's more to playing striker than just sticking the ball in the back of the net. You want to be constantly positioning yourself to be able to collect the ball off your midfield who's creating all these chances that we just spoke about. You want to be able able to make dynamic diagonal runs to the corners, or cutting across the face of goal, and really trying to wrong foot defenders to create space. Maybe not even for yourself. Maybe sometimes you make a run into space hoping that the defender will run with you so that you can open up space behind him for somebody else to come and get a scoring opportunity. So there's a lot of dynamic runs that happen in the striker position. I guess one thing you want to do though is when you do lose possession and you're going back, you'll want to defend right away against the defense, but not go too far back to help out, because you need to hold your shape and keep depth in the team and stay up front. So when you do come forward, there's that opportunity for an outlet pass, a quick counter attack, and also you'll be conserving your energy from not going back, so you can use it in that sprint that you're going to need.
All right, before we head downstairs and play this game, let's talk a little bit about the grand overall strategy. You know, you've got 9 other friends, different, varying skill levels. Where do you ideally want the most experienced people, and where do you want the newbies?
I guess it's not as simple as who's the most experienced and who's the newbie. I guess it's more a question of what talents everybody has.
Okay.
Everybody's got different talents. Maybe you have a guy who's a wizard with the skill moves and he can beat players one-on-one. Well, you're not going to want to put him at center back for obvious reasons. You might want to stick him up front so he can create his own opportunity to score, or get him out wide on the wing so he can beat somebody and get a cross in. Likewise, if you have somebody that's good at tackling or good at jockeying, defending has become an art in FIFA.
Right, yeah.
If somebody's good at that, you want to keep them on the back line and keep them composed. If they know their positioning and they're really not going to give up a whole lot of space, you might want to keep them back. The level-headed guy maybe goes to the back. And then, of course, your creative engine, you want them in the middle of the park so you can be creative and create those opportunities that you want.
I guess what I'm asking, Aaron, is someone with no skill like myself, where do you put me so I can do the least damage on the pitch?
Wherever you can fit in. Wherever they'll let you play.
All right. Well, Aaron, thank you so much. We're going to run downstairs and play FIFA 09 10 versus 10 right now, and I'm going to do my best not to embarrass myself.